I mean, stop stealing Nigerian oil. The question of the day today is, who is behind Nigerian crude oil theft? It's a trending issue right now that a lot of people are feeding on Nigerian oil. Few days ago, Asari Dokubo visited President-elect President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in the villa, and he came out to address the press. And what he said was 99% of the oil theft in Nigeria is known by the military and the navy. He accused the military and the navy that 99% of stolen oil in Nigeria, that they are aware of it. Take my word. He's not saying they stole the oil. He said they were aware of the oil theft in Nigeria. Now, before now, Nigeria major natural resources is cocoa. You know what I mean by cocoa? The one they use in making chocolates and beverages and stuff like that. Yeah? In the days, say in the 60s, before the discovery of crude oil in Nigeria. And when we discovered the crude oil in Nigeria, we thought it would be a blessing to us in Nigeria. But unfortunately, it was not a blessing. It brings chaos, problem. It divides the nation. It divides the people. It splits the tribes. People die along the way. Remember King Sarawiwa. He died in this struggle, all in the name of crude oil in Nigeria. He wasn't stealing the oil, but he was protesting as regards to the impact of the oil spill in the Niger Delta. Now, Asari Dokubo is an influential person in Nigeria, especially in the Niger Delta. He's a chief title there. He's a chief there. And he is also a stakeholder. So when he talks, he knows what he's talking about. It was the one that came out that said the military, that they were aware of what goes on in Nigeria, oil theft. And he said it categorically that ordinary people cannot get close to the verge, to where the oil is, if you're nobody. It's either you're military officers or you are a naval officer. As a matter of fact, the Nigeria Civil Defense that's supposed to be guiding the pipeline, the Navy and the military have taken over their job, according to what Dokubo said, Asari Dokubo. And to the extent that the military, they paid a lot of money to their officers, to their oga, to their superior, to be posted to Niger Delta. Meaning they bribe their superior, please, kindly, if you want to post me to Niger Delta. Because of the oil racketeer that is going on there. They knows when they get there, definitely within a few months, they're rich. The oil theft in Nigeria, it's a big problem to us in Nigeria. It has become something that is killing the economy. Can you imagine in Nigeria that we don't even process the oil ourselves? We have to outsource that oil to the Western world. And when it gets there, they extract whatever they need to extract. They send back to us the PMS, which is the petroleum. And the rest, they keep it to themselves. And don't forget, we still pay money to do that. We are producing this in ourselves. But we cannot refine. Because all our refineries are down. It's being sabotaged. Our refineries are not working, but every year they budgeted huge amount of money to surface to run the Nigerian refinery. which is not working, by the way. The money we spend in servicing Nigerian oil platform that is not working is more than what Dangote used in setting up his new refinery in Nigeria. It's around $20 billion. And Nigerians, we've spent more than $20 billion to service our oil refinery that is not even working, that is not giving us anything. Wouldn't it have been better if we use that money to build a new refinery, even if it's one? But you know what? Because of corruption in Nigeria, we did not do that. We prefer servicing the oil farm there, the refinery. You know, when we keep servicing it, money will be going in and out, and it will go into some, you know, some other people's pocket. Now, let's go back to the oil theft in Nigeria. Who are behind this oil theft? Is it you? I don't think so. I don't think so. It's the big, high, and mighty that are behind the oil theft in Nigeria. According to Asari Dokubo, he said they are in Lagos and they are in Abuja. And they are being aided by the military, top politicians. They are behind the oil theft in Nigeria. According to analysts, what he said in one of the Nigerian TV stations, he said, ordinary water, you cannot move it from the barge where they process the crude oil because of the security. It's so tight that you can't move ordinary water, not to talk of crude oil. So if you can lift crude oil there, that means those security, they are part of it. And you know what? Close to the military base there, you see people building, assembling ship, barges, and nobody caught them. Nobody asked them what they are doing. Nobody confiscate all those things because it's part of them that owns it. A man came to one of the television stations a few days ago as well. He said some of these military people, they even own, ship, the small boats that ferry this oil from the point of dispatch to the main ferry. And you know what? If Nigeria want to work on this oil theft, it's something we can do. But the bulk of it lands on the table of the president of Nigeria. Oil theft in Nigeria is something that we can curb, that we can stop, if we want to do it. We can trace where our oil is going to, because oil, they have what they called, you can identify Nigerian oil. Oil has a code. Whenever the oil is leaving, they knows where it goes, they know where it landed. To the extent that those days, the Cameroon, the Ghanaians, the Cameroon, Ghanaians, I think Togo or so, they used to, our oil used to go to that place illegally. But Nigerian government had a meeting with them. They said, you know what? We'll make sure that your refineries work. We're going to supply you direct. Don't steal our oil again. And they comply. And it has not happened again. Even they trace Nigerian oil to Brazil. Nigerians negotiated with Brazilian as well. It stops. Now, can you imagine a whole ship that wants to convey oil from here to wherever in the world? This ship is not a pin, it's not a trailer. This is like 10, 15-story buildings. Whenever it sails from wherever it is, on the international water, your compass needs to be on. The moment you switch off your compass, that means you are operating an illegal things around on the ocean, on the sea. When your compass in the ship is put on, it's easier for people to be able to track that ship. They have the identity of that ship and all the information about the ship. But when you turn it off, then you're ready for illegal business. A ship sailed from wherever in Europe or wherever in Africa, sailed to Nigerian water. Nigerian navies are there, Nigerian civil defense are there, the military task force, they are there. That is the joint military task force in Nigeria. They are there securing the waterway. And this ship, as huge, as large as these, will be there probably for like 20, 30 days. And you want to tell me that you did not see the ship? Come on. Come on. It's not a small thing. This is a big that even from far you will see it from far that no, what's going on there? You will see it. The people that secure the Nigerian waterway, they are also corrupt. They are also corrupt. Remember also, there was a time, I think during the election period, when Nyesom Wike, the former governor of Rivers State, he mentions name of one of the officers that even have what they call POFA. POFA in Rivers means illegal, refinery, where they refine oil in the local ways. They go somewhere, they'll tap the oil as well, they bring it, they burn it, they do whatever they will process it. He said one of the officers is having it. He mentioned his name. We did not hear anything about that officer again as we speak right now. Maybe he has been changed from that post or whatever. We don't know, but it's not publicly known that the man has been discharged from his duty. So what Asani Dokubo said a few days ago is not a new thing. It's things that everybody knows that goes on. The only thing is nobody has that lever to come out, to come and tell the world, to come and tell Nigerians that, you know what, this is what is going on. The military, they are part of it. But he came out because he has nothing to lose. He's not afraid of anybody according to what he said. So he was bold enough he came out and, he spoke his mind. He said he wants to save Nigeria. He's doing this thing for the well-being of Nigerians. Remember that because of this oil theft in Nigeria, we have to assign the secure of our pipeline to a private security company in the Niger Delta, headed by Tompolo. Tompolo is someone that everybody knows as well. He has his own guard. He operates a security firm there. He's the one that is securing the pipeline for Nigeria, which, a kind of contract was given to him by the past president, which is President Muhammadu Buhari. According to what Dokubo said, they are brothers, of course. They are from the same river states and stuff like that. You cannot do anything in that rivalry area without the knowledge of those guys. It's not possible. It's not just possible. And now Dokubo is saying, well, he's ready to secure the pipeline to help Nigerians. That single oil will not be stolen again in Nigeria. Well, at the end of the day, some people said, okay, probably maybe Asari is just looking for a way to get a contract from Tinubu as well, since Tompolo had his contract from Muhammadu Buhari. And the military now, they came out publicly. They dare him to mention names. If he's sure of his allegation, he should mention names of the militaries that are involved in this oil theft. But don't forget that it's not only even the military that are involved in this situation. The communities as well, where this pipeline is being laid through. All they have there, the major occupation there is oil, what they call POFA, They process oil there. That is their major occupation. And you cannot take that away from them. So even if the big boys, those ones that bring ships and everything, comes into Nigeria to do their own, these boys are also doing it as well. But who to blame? Who to blame here? Because they are well known to be fishermen in that area. But the oil spill has cost them a lot, that they cannot even fish anymore because there's no fish anymore in that area. All the fish, they move far away from their area because of the oil spill. So they don't have any other job to do. The only thing they have to do there is to participate in the bunkering and what have you there. And it's going to be difficult for you to stop them because you're not providing job, you're not providing anything for them. They don't have life there, they don't have social amenities, nothing. Some areas in that, in that river state, the electricity there, they've cited it probably like in the past 12 years. There was no electricity there. And this is the oil place where you are drilling the oil. And all these things are far away from them. Can you compare that place with Qatar or with Saudi Arabia? The area where the oil is coming from there, look at what look at how the neighborhood, how the people, how the citizens, how they enjoy it. Nigeria should be one of the countries that the citizen should benefit, what we call unemployment benefit there. To pay them, if you don't have work, pay them from this oil every month. But the rich are getting richer, the poor are getting poorer. That is it in Nigeria for you. That is it in Nigeria for you. The environmental hazard part of it is also another case entirely. If you go to Port Harcourt sometimes, you will see smokes everywhere. If you sneeze, what will come out from your nose, you'll be shocked. Sometimes it's going to be thick black. And I tell you what, in the next 10, 20 years, the rates of infertilities within the guys there, within the boys, within the men in River State, it's going to be high. In the few years, in the 10 years, 20 years time, lung cancer is going to be something that everybody will be nursing in that area if proper measure is not taken right now. Because the oil, you see the way they burn the oil, they will see the way they burn the gas and everything. The whole place is smoked. Everywhere is smoked. Even in the morning when you're driving, when you use your wiper of your car, what you see there is black charcoal. So the environmental impact that this oil theft cost in Nigeria is not a good thing. We've talked about the environmental impact. We talk about the economic aspect of it. That is the people, they don't have job. That's why they engage in all this illegal bunkering, illegal, way of tapping oil. And the expert said, you have the Nigerian pipeline, official pipeline, that goes from the rig to the excavators, let's say for example. And someone goes there with another inches of pipe, thick one, drill part of the Nigerian pipeline, attach his own or her own to it, cover it, seal it up again. It's not a normal artisan that can do that. This is the job of a professional. And they have insider. Because you cannot drill a pipe when the oil is flowing. They need to off the oil somewhere. They need to close the valve. Then you'll be able to drill. You'll be able to mount your own valve there. You'll be able to tap whatever you need to do. And then you now instruct them again to open the valve. So that means when you open the valve on the other side, as the oil is passing through Nigerian pipe, you've already tapped it here. It will be going also to your local refinery. And according to the security, which is Tom Polo said, his people, they said they discovered a pipe that has been going on, that pipe, to their estimation, it has been there for 10 good years. That means they've been siphoning Nigerian oil for the past 10 good years. Let's say 500 barrels a day times 365 days. Look at how much money Nigeria is losing. It's a lot. This money can drive every jackpine out of Nigeria back to go home. We cannot pay the teachers. We cannot pay the pensioners. The health service is chaos in Nigeria. Can't we use all this revenue, all this money, block all the leakages and use all this money to service all these areas in Nigeria? One of the experts also, open up that the international oil service company, they are not exception from this oil theft. They are also involved, according to the expert. He said the pressure, right? If there's a leakage somewhere, he said you can dictate that area, because the pressure of the oil coming into your area there, you will notice that the pressure has reduced because the oil is also going somewhere else. He said this is not a new technology that it has been on. This is a stakeholder in the oil industry that is saying this on the national TV. He said it's something that they can know. That is not the easy thing. That the pressure will drop. And when the pressure drops, you can locate that area. They all pretend. They don't know who is stealing Nigerian oil. They don't know who is stealing Nigerian oil. When Tom Polo was interviewed, Tom Polo said that the foreign oil company, they're also part of the deal. But they keep their mouth shut. And what they do is they will get more oil in the batch than what they're supposed to fill. And when they get to the high sea, like, there they will now dispatch some into another smaller boat. And from there, they will find their way to Cameroon. From there, they will offload it into another bigger ship. If you remember very well, SA and Falano said sometimes ago that even NNPC, they said they've spent some billions of money or millions of money on some kind of what they call it, on some kind of a track and trace, that when oil is leaving the depot to wherever it's going, they can track, they can trace it. But still, they keep telling us that our oil finds its way to Cameroon through the trucks. Remember a few months ago, a ship was caught on the Nigerian sea, stealing our oil. When the Navy asked them to stop, they did not stop. They ran away. This is a big ship. But somehow, I think somewhere in one of these African countries, they sent them back to Nigerian water and they confiscated the ship. They took those guys to court. The outcome of it is not the one that benefits Nigeria. The one Tom Polo caught also, they set that ship, they set it ablaze with the crude oil inside. To them, they don't want that ship to repeat coming back to Nigeria to come and siphon the oil. But the environmental disaster on that spot, it's something that is not good. Because ordinary oil that's spilled We know the damage that it caused to the marine. Not to talk of a whole big ship with crude oil inside. None of these guys are clean, so to speak. Because if you're not an expert in something, and when they ask questions, you will not go into details of that thing. But when you're expert, or when you've done it before, and you now repented, then you'll be talking professionally. When some of these guys, when they interview them, the press, you see how they mention some key things in the oil industry. You ask yourself, are they engineers? Do they go to any school at all in terms of marine school or stuff like that? No. But they mention all these things because they know that I mean, that's their community, that's the area. They're also part of it. None of them is clean, bro. None of them is clean. None of them is clean. Aside Dokubo that went to the presidency now, I mean, people are saying it. It's all over. That he's only there just for his own pocket as well. He's not there to help the nation. He's not there to help his people. Because he said it already that he can secure the pipeline. And even that he even secured roads in Nigeria. And Abuja Road, Niger Road, River Road, and stuff like that. I secured them with his team. Where are we going in Nigeria? Where are we going in Nigeria? All these people, those days when we were growing up, if you flaunt money anyhow, you'll be challenged. But nowadays, nobody asks you where you get the money from. All they want to know is, oh, he has it. In their community, in the riverine area there, you can see the way they live. So you want to tell me that you want to stop them from all this bunkery? No. Oil theft in Nigeria will still keep on until those guys have a proper job. Because what do you want to pay them? One of them said in the interview that they make a lot of money because they don't have job. He said this job pays them more than any other job. In fact, when you get to River State, if you want to buy kerosene, the kerosene you're buying is not the one from the official NNPC. This one is from the local refinery. They sell it as low as 200 naira. And the question has been going on to the Nigerian government, like, okay, fine. Why can't you legalize this oil farm for them? Let them come together as a cooperative. Charge them. Tax them. Probably maybe the way they steal Nigerian oil, it will reduce. Because this time around, you're setting them up properly and they come together as a cooperative. Maybe that will also end them stealing the oil. It's going to be a win-win of a thing. Nigeria is making some money because you're taxing them and they're also making some money. And remember now that also that the subsidy is gone. The subsidy is gone. So the high time Nigerian refinery start working, the better for Nigerians. Otherwise, we'll keep being in the big shit. We're all clamoring for Dangote refinery. Yeah, it's a welcome development for the nation, especially for Nigerians and for and for Africa as a whole. But if Dangote refinery is the only one in Nigeria today, bro, I tell you one thing, yeah? There will come a time that he will monopolize the market. Whatever it tells us to buy, that's what we'll pay for. Because there's no rivalry. There's no rival. Look at Nigeria today in terms of telecommunication now. When one of the South African company came in then, I remember then, I mean, like I myself, I bought my SIM. I think at the rate of 60 something thousand. I want SIM 60 or 45,000. I remember then, and they were not even do per second calling. But when they throw it open, Glow came in and Glow slashed everything per second. The per second that MTN said they cannot go into, that they cannot do them, they quite kia, they ran back to it. They started doing per second as well. Because now there's competition. So if Dangote refinery is the only one in Nigeria now, what will happen is they monopolize the monopoly of the price. What it tells us to pay is what we will pay. So as quick as we can, our refinery need to start working in Nigeria, especially with this subsidy of the thing that has been taken off. Who is behind oil theft in Nigeria? That is the question of the day. If you know the answer, or if you want to contribute to it, go to the comment section below, please. Who is behind oil theft in Nigeria? Oil theft in Nigeria has become an organized crime. It's not one-man business anymore. People who are involved in oil bunkering, in oil theft in Nigeria, they are not small boys. It's a big boy game, because the fund behind it is not 3 million, 4 million, 10 million, 20 million. No, it's a big boy game. I'm going to repeat it again. Who is behind oil theft in Nigeria?